Hi, Alan Reece with the law firm of Frank and Kraft, sitting here today with Sandy Dietrich. We're going to be talking a little today about um, helping your parent adjust to a retirement facility or a memory care facility, a nursing facility, sort of the more comprehensive care facilities, and a little bit about what to look for in memory care. Hi, Sandy.
Hi, how are you, Alan?
I'm doing well. Thanks for sitting with us today.
My pleasure.
So, what do we need to keep in mind when we're helping a parent adjust to one of these more comprehensive care facilities, like a nursing facility, a memory care facility? What are those things? What are things we want to keep in mind in helping them make that transition?
Um, for many of them, there are things that are similar, but for memory care, there's some very specific things I think that you need to be cautious about. Memory care, there can be quite a bit of pushback initially, and what we find is that the staff will probably tell you not to visit for a week or maybe two.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, staying away for a little bit to help them get settled. There's oftentimes at that adjustment period of the loss, and for them, there's anger that triggers in sometimes, and just there can be a little depression, and so letting them become oriented into that building, letting them become adjusted to new staff, that can be very helpful to have that quiet time. Certainly, you can call and check in on them with staffing, and that would be the easiest way, I think, to make sure that things are okay during that time frame. But I have seen it many times, and it always works best to give them just a little bit of a break there. Once they do have an okay to start visiting, um, then certainly telephone calls, visits, taking someone out to lunch sometimes can be a good thing. Some folks just like to get in the car and go for a drive,
Okay.
particularly this time of year with the leaves changing.
Sure.
They love being able to go out and just look at the area. So there's all kinds of little things that you can do. We find that if there's still some agitation against that child, that the staff can literally set up an activity that you can do with your parent. Um, when you're doing an activity together, there's not that awkward time frame of trying to come up with a topic that's going to be okay to discuss.
Sure.
And so if you're actually tuned into a particular topic or an activity, it's just a little bit easier for the visit to go more smoothly.
Okay. The what you said, that the sort of giving them that kind of time on their own, that to me that seems counterintuitive. You'd think that it might be easier if they see the family members, but I guess maybe it's that because there's so much change, there's, I guess, frustration with the family members for doing that, and
That's a good word. I've seen downright anger and hostility,
okay.
and we have to direct that someplace. They need to blame someone, and it seems like this person is the troublemaker. You're the one that's been pushing me to go here. You're the one that has taken me out of my safe environment. You're the one that made me come here. And so now that we've focused in on this person, if we're having a good day and suddenly they show up, what are we going to see right away? We're going to
Okay.
flip back into that place of being angry. So if we have time to forget that,
Okay.
which typically is what happens.
In a memory care situation.
Yes,
Okay.
they can get past that point, and it and I don't want to say 100% of the time, but it happens more often than not.
Okay.
So
Um, so mom or dad is in the memory care facility. What are things we want to keep an eye on once they're there to make sure they're getting the quality of care that we want them to receive?
and that you can probably follow right down the road for the rest of them too, is just making sure the environment is clean. Their room is kept clean. There's no odors, nor is there an odor about the loved one. They need to be in clean clothes always, fresh shaven if men prefer that. Um, they need to, be dry as well. So looking at that first. Watching the staff, and you probably would have picked up on that in the very beginning, but how they relate to the client. Are they Are they upbeat? Are they happy? Are they, good natured like that? I mean, and then look at the residents as well. I mean, if everybody has a sad face and are gloom and doom, then I don't know that I want to go there to live. We want an upbeat, happy, content environment. That's the goal, is seeing that, and you want to see socialization happening. You don't want to come in and see them parked in front of a TV.
Right.
The goal is that they would be having some type of activity going on. And typically there's a common area, a place where people gather for meals or socializing or whatever. So you've got them coming together,
Okay.
as opposed to being isolated, which is what they were before, perhaps in their home. So your goal is to get them together with someone else.
Okay. So it sounds like in a lot of ways, I mean, some of it's just kind of enlightened common sense. Do people look happy? Do they look healthy? Does it feel like a place that is pleasant? Does it smell nice? Does it look nice? Are people happy?
You bet, you bet. And that's the first thing you want to look at when you go to places. And again, we've made that comment when we sat and talked before, of the fact that our company Alliance has these questionnaires that you can download off the site, so that you are armed with all of the appropriate questions to ask when you go to a place, to make
Absolutely.
sure that the care is what it should be. So that can be very helpful. And when you are beginning that process, and this can be right down the road for all of them, whether it's independent living or assisted living or a memory care unit, is making sure that you're bringing things from home. A lot of people literally take pictures of everything in the home so that they can duplicate that in the new residence.
Oh, sure.
So they get the pictures the same on the walls. They have everything placed just so, and it becomes that very home-like. Oh, I remember this. It stimulates a lot of good and pleasant kinds of thoughts. So,
And I have to think, for folks who do have those memory issues, sometimes they'll have these feelings of comfort. They won't even know where they come from. But this feels the same. This is I have good memories associated with this, and it's here, so I feel better.
yeah, I don't know where this blanket came from. I remember starting that a while back, and here it is, and I love it. And they can sit with that and just for a long time, actually, and just be lost in the thoughts about that. So it triggers good things. So it's a very positive thing to do.
Sandy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
As always, tune into the Elder Care channel for education, insight, and knowledgeable people to share their thoughts about how to make things easier for your parents going through what are sometimes quite difficult issues. Thanks, and take care.